Guys, thank you so much for joining today's session. Today we'll be talking about today we'll be talking about portfolio. We have learned a lot in this program. We've learned a lot. So right now we need to learn the next phase of getting ready for jobs. So portfolio is a very important topic. So Mr. Solomon Eseme will take us on that, tell us a lot about portfolio, why we should have portfolio. So Solomon, you have the floor. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. I'm welcoming you guys to this section. My name is Solomon Eseme, and I'm a technical writer and a documentation engineer. So I'll be taking you guys through building technical writing portfolio. I believe this is a technical writing session, right? So I'll be taking you guys through building your technical writing portfolio, and more like building a personal brand as a technical writer. Okay, so we are going to be discussing it in that angle. It's not just the website that houses all your content, but how do you position yourself as a technical writer for companies to reach out to, or for companies to want to work with you when you submit your applications. Okay, so that's the area we'll be talking about today. And yeah, so first, I believe in the section you have learned a lot about technical writing. You know what it is, and of course, you might have written a few contents. All right, and in this section, I'm going to talk to you about those content that you have written. How do you present them to clients? How do you make them stand out so that the client can listen to you and maybe you can get a job from them, okay? So first, let's start by knowing what a technical writing portfolio is all about. Okay, so first, a portfolio is, in the context of technical writing, it's a website that houses all your jobs, right? All the articles that you have written. And at the same time, most importantly, it tells who you are, okay? So if you are a technical writer, your portfolio need to detail that. What kind of technical writer are you? Okay, so what kind of technologies have you worked with as a technical writer? And why should companies work with you? Right, so you need to detail these different stories in your technical writing portfolio as you develop them. So a technical writing portfolio does not just house your content as we normally do. We just put all our content in a portfolio and then we present it to client. No, we need to create it in a way that it tells a story. It tells a client who we are. It tells a client what we have done and what we are able to do for these clients if we eventually get to work with them. Okay, so all this information needs to be spelled out in your portfolio. Okay, so moving on, there are different places you can create your portfolio. Like for those of us that we're just starting, I would say, okay, start with Medium, start writing your articles on Medium, publish on Medium, and with Medium you can get tractions and you can learn the ropes on how to create content. And also with Medium, you can have a bank of articles that you have written that can serve as your portfolio, right? It can serve as something that you can show to clients, and a client will see that you have been in the field and you have written a couple of content. And from there, they can detect if the content that you have written is going to align with what they are looking for, right? So start with Medium. Medium is one place that you can create a basic portfolio for yourself. And one advantage of Medium is that you're also going to get tractions from the community, like people on Medium. So if you publish your article on Medium, you notice that sometimes you might get views, you might get claps, you might get reads and stuff like that. And at the same time, and most importantly, you have an organized place for all your content. Okay, so that's one place that you can create a basic portfolio. And then you also have Dev2 for those that are really, really into technical content. What I mean is those that write about technologies, right? Like a software engineer doing technical content, right? So you can use Dev2 to document your journey or publish your content. And that is the same thing with Medium, but it is more developer focused, right? So that's why I said for those that are really into software engineering and technical writing. Okay, so Dev2 is one place that you can, publish your articles and have a bank. Dev2, we have T-Feed, okay, and we have these different platforms where you can publish your articles and, have a bank of articles that you can share with your clients. And again, for some of us that are new to technical writing, you might ask, okay, how do we get our articles out there or something? How do we publish to real brands, so that we can get some kind of credibility and stuff like that? So one way I believe you can do that is through guest posting. Okay, so you can use guest posting, look for different websites that accept writers and then write for them. And once you do, one thing that it helps you to do is that you have an article that is published on a live website, unlike the one that you publish on Medium. So the one that you publish on Medium is your personal brand or is your personal portfolio, and it is your personal blog. But when you publish on a guest website, or when you publish on maybe a real website, I would say, you'll notice that it gives you more credibility because by that, you have passed through some editing processes. This company have edited your articles, they have read your articles and stuff like that, and you've passed through these stages, and and your article gets published. So it gives you more credibility than when you publish your article on Medium on your personal Medium account. Okay, so that is one way you can put yourself out there by guest posting. And then we have okay, so next we're going to look at how to create a portfolio that stands out. So we have these, we have Medium, we have Dev2, we have T-Feed. These are platforms that you can use to create portfolios, which are good. But for you to stand out, like I said, I'm going to be coming in the context of personal branding. For you to stand out or for you to have a personal brand as a technical writer, you need to use some tips that I'm going to share with you today to create a portfolio that really, really stands out. Okay, someone is complaining. I had to check that. My network is. Please just indicate if you can hear me so that it's not from my end. Someone is complaining.
I can hear you.
Okay, so Wisdom, please, if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, nice. All right. So these are some of the tips that you can use to create a portfolio that actually stands out as a technical writer. So first, you don't just put out articles because you have articles, right? For example, you might have written like 10 contents on your Medium page, for example, right? And you want to create a portfolio. So you don't just put all the 10 articles on your Medium. The reason why that is not good is because some of the articles may be that you were learning how to write at the time, and it's not really in-depth or it's not really good enough for companies to want to work with you, all right? So that's the reason why you need to do what? Select articles that you are proud of. So you can pick 5 out of the 10 articles that you have written and put it in your portfolio. Okay? And then the next one is when you were creating these articles, right? What challenges did you face? Okay, so if you are creating an article about, let's say HTML5, what challenge did you face when you were creating these articles? What were the pain points? How did you overcome these challenges? So you need to spell this out when putting that article in your portfolio, so that so that company knows that these are the things that you pass through, And this is the different strategies that you use to solve these problems. Like I always tell people, companies actually love to work with people or problem solvers, people that can solve problems. So it's not enough for you to know how to write, but it is even better for you to know how to write well and how to write in a way that aligns with the company's goals. Okay, so spelling out the different ways that you overcome these different challenges when you are writing your article is going to help you stand out as a technical writer. And then the next one is what skills, aside from writing, right? Writing is the general thing for technical writers. What other skills did you employ to get the job done? So when you are given a topic, for example, you were given a topic that you don't know about, what other skills did you use to get that job done? You could mention things like I did a lot of research. I had to watch this video and stuff. Like just mention something that really helps you to get this job done when you are adding those articles into your portfolio. So more like personalizing each content that you add to your portfolio so that it gives meaning to a particular content that you add to your portfolio. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so more on that is what is the impact of the content? So you don't just put article in your portfolio because you have written that article. So like I said before, you select articles based on their impact. What is the impact of this article that you're adding to your portfolio? Now, the kind of people that you are targeting, let's say, for example, you're targeting a company that deals with Kubernetes or maybe HTML5, for example. So the articles that are added in your portfolio, is it articles that are based on HTML5 or they are just random articles that you have written before? Okay, so if you can personalize your portfolio to match a specific type of company that you're looking for, you will notice that your portfolio is going to really stand out. And that is exactly what we are looking at in this case. Okay. And then another question you could ask yourself is, okay, what tool did you use when you were writing these articles? So if you can answer all these questions correctly, and then you know, or you now decide the articles that really falls into the category of company that you're looking for, and then you create a portfolio based on those articles. All right. So the next thing, let's look at how to really build such kind of portfolio. Okay. So you have to go, you have to use something like WordPress or maybe a drag and drop or CMS to build such a portfolio, because at this time, you're not just putting out any content out there, just like the way you would do with Medium. For Medium, you have a list of all your content. But for a portfolio that needs to be branded or that you need to brand for yourself, you need to use WordPress, for example, or any CMS so that you can personalize it. Like you can answer all the questions that I've pointed out, and then you personalize content or you add content that really matches those criteria. Okay, so you use things like WordPress to do that, or maybe CMS. If you don't know how to do that, you can maybe hire someone to assist you in that area. And then another one is, right? So you can use portfolio building platforms, right? So there are some portfolio building platforms that helps you to personalize. The main aim of a technical portfolio that stands out is the personality that you give to that portfolio. Okay, so you don't just add all your content like I've said before. Now you have to add content based on what matches the kind of clients that you are looking for. Okay, so there are different tools that you can use to create personalized portfolios. I think an example we have clippings. So clipping is one tool that you can use to create those kind of portfolios, because it will allow you to add content based on based on categories. Okay, so you have category for HTML5, category for Kubernetes, and then you separate them like that. Okay, and then another one is journey portfolio. So this one will allow you to design your portfolio nicely, as if you're a graphic designer, and then you give all those beautiful colors and stuff. So journey portfolio is going to allow you to do that. And then we also have Contently, and then we have Pressfolio. Okay, so we have all these tools that can allow you to personalize your portfolio. Remember that you don't just create portfolio and put all your content inside there. but you create a portfolio that stands out by personalizing it, right? So these tools that I've mentioned is going to help you in personalizing your portfolio so that companies can identify exactly what you do and how you do it, and then they can get into this talking stage with you. Okay, so aside from these tools, I also have Contenter. So Contenter is one of the tools that you can use to create a personalized portfolio. And the more reason why I like it is because it allows you to add content based on, sorry, I'm looking at the chat, so someone is sending a message. It's allowing you to add content based on categories, and you don't need to, write the content there. You can just import it, from the link, using the link that wherever it is published, just take the link and import it, and then add it to different categories. And from these different categories, you can create multiple portfolios for it. For example, you can create a different portfolio for HTML5 content. You can create a different portfolio for Kubernetes content. So that when you have these clients, if a client is coming for PHP content, you only send that client all one portfolio that contains all the content that has to do with PHP. Okay, so that is more personalized than sending one big portfolio that contains all your articles, even if it is separated in categories. The client will still have to go to that category and maybe check through other articles to see. So it is going to take the client time to decide either to move on with you or not. But if you send that client a personalized portfolio that goes straight to what the client is looking for, I think it's more better that way. Okay? Right. So in conclusion, one thing I believe is when creating portfolio for yourself, don't just build a website or don't just add all your content into a portfolio. You need to think strategically. What kind of clients are you looking for? What kind of content do you even write about or are you even conversant with? For example, if you're a technical writer, sometimes you might like to write about front-end tools. Sometimes you might like to write about back-end tools, but you're still a technical writer. At this stage, you have to now decide if a client is coming for back-end, what content makes sense for me to send as a sample for this client. If you're writing about front-end, what content makes sense? Okay, so this is where personalization comes in, and that really makes you to stand out as a technical writer, all right? So I know that was a quick one, and I would really like to get your questions now. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Solomon, for that. I know a lot of them have lots of questions. All right, Victoria, let's hear from you.
Okay, so George, it seems like your hand is up.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Okay, my question is simple. I wanted to ask, how do we get, aside building the portfolio, how do we actually reach out to people that has the specific requirements you talked about? You said something about not just writing for anyone.
Okay, that wasn't clear. I'm sorry, can you rephrase?
Okay, in your statement, you said that we can't just apply to anyone because they have certain requirements. They have certain requirements in the sense that maybe they want you to write for the front end or the back end or you're into DevOps or something like that. So now I've been applying for jobs and I've been getting series of rejection mails. And I keep asking myself, is it that I am not applying to the right people? So I want to ask, how do you know the right people
to apply to?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can't really know the right people to apply to. And I think one thing you can do is to try to make yourself stand out for that role that you're applying. You understand? So what you can do is to study the JD. JD is job description, and then get to know what they want. You understand? Get to know what this company really, really, really want. For example, I think one of those years I applied to Ambassador Labs. I don't know, Wisdom, you might know those guys. That place at Roots. I believe that works, Rudy King that works, yeah. So I applied to them and I was rejected. Now, they did something very interesting that I love. In the rejection mail, they said that they are looking for people that can write about or that have written about Kubernetes, right? So Kubernetes is a technology. They're looking for people that have written about Kubernetes or that have experience writing about Kubernetes. They reviewed my portfolio. It's nice. They love the way I write. They love my samples, but it wasn't about Kubernetes. So that just tells you that these companies, they know exactly what they're looking for. And those things that they're looking for are there in the job description. So what you need to do is to simply just position your application towards what they are looking for. You understand? So if they are looking for Kubernetes writers, they're not going to tell you they're looking for Kubernetes writers. They're going to tell you they're looking for technical writers, right? And then down in the JD, you'll see the different technologies that they use. You understand? So there, you now need to position yourself by sending samples that shows that you have written about the technologies that they listed in that JD. You understand? So you can't really know that this company is right for you, or you can only wish, or you can only say this company is my dream company. This is where I love to work. But when it comes to really applying the job and getting selected, it's all about how you position yourself towards applying to that job. So it could be through your cover letter. It could be through the samples that you sent. It could be through your resume, and yeah. So these different things that we use to apply to different roles is what is going to make the companies to know that this person is really who we want, and we can move forward with this applicant. I don't know if that answers your question, please.
Yeah, it does somewhat. Thank you.
This is the website content that you just register, of course, or maybe should watch this. So I've written for kind of a lot of clients, yeah, but one thing you need to do is first, you add your content. Okay, so if you have written your content anywhere, let me see, where did I write last? Okay, the article I published today. Just copy the link to the article, right? Link to the article like this, and come to Contenter. You see, you can add articles based on any of these. You can either write it here or from dev to Medium or Hashnode, anywhere you can import the article. But let me use this. Just pull from here. Okay, so it's added. I don't know if you saw that, but let me filter so that you can just see it. Let me see. So this is where it is. So I wasn't paid for this article, sad. So I can't add the amount. It's published, it's public, and it doesn't have any tag. So you can update it if you want. Yeah, so once you have articles like these already added, so you know that this article was published to Mastering Backend. So I have other clients here, and these ones are paid, these ones are personal, like this one is personal. Okay, so you can go to portfolios. Okay, so under portfolio, you can create, this is the default portfolio that will be created for you once you register. You can view it. So you have everything that you've written here, as you can see. But you can personalize it by clicking here. So how do you want to create? I want to create from scratch. So creating from scratch will allow you to design your portfolio if you know how to do the drag and drop, like, like the way you would do that. But I won't do this because it's going to take a lot of time. So I will just delete this. I don't need you again. So I will create from a template. So we have a lot of templates you can choose from. I will choose this one. And I will call it, oh God, let's see, personal articles. So here you can give it any name, though. It can be front end, back end articles, whatever. So I'll just call it personal for now. You can describe it if you want. Then under the content rules, you can select the type of content you want this portfolio to carry. For now, I'm just going to add only my personal articles, since that is what this title is all about. So I'll just choose only personal articles should be here. You can select tags if you want. For example, you can say web scraping articles, Vue.js articles, and stuff like this, but I'll just leave it at personal. A few things you can do. If you're on the paid plan, you can put a custom domain so that it maps to your domain name, or you can track your analytics using your Google Analytics, or you can protect it with password in case whatever that would warrant you to protect it with password. And then let's try to create. Okay, so we've created a portfolio. Let's view it and see. Okay, so we have this, and then if you look at it, the articles that are here has this personal. That means it only has the content that falls under that specific category. You understand? So now I can send this link to a client, and the client will go and see that this article only relates to exactly what the client is looking for. Let me decline this. Only relates to exactly what the client is looking for. Okay, so it has about me. You can personalize this about me so that it shows that you only write, let's say, for example, Vue.js article, assuming this particular portfolio was only about Vue.js. Okay, you can personalize this and add your social media, and you can add your resume for them to download. Okay, so under hire me to take you to where the client can get in touch with you and submit. But most importantly, you notice that you have personalized this portfolio by only showing the articles that relates to exactly what the client is looking for, just like what we have demonstrated here. And this is exactly how you do it. Okay, so first, you add all your articles wherever they are published. You add them here by just either importing it via URL. So if you have like 20 URLs, you can import all of them by separating it with stuff like this, new line, and then upload. That is going to just import all your articles at once. Okay, or you can write the article here. So if you are writing the article here, we have some AI that is going to help you write the articles faster. Or you can import from Medium, assuming you have already written some of your articles on Medium, Dev2 or Hashnode. You can basically just import all of them here. Okay, so once you have articles like this, then you can give them categories. Okay, so you can either create the category from here. As you can see, I can create categories from here by using add, or you can go here under grouping, see categories. You can create the categories here. And if you are adding, if you are getting paid to write, you can see the amount that you've made from each category. For example, under the page, you see the amount that the person that has this account has made and stuff. You can also see how much you've made from each client. So Vonage, this person made 500, Vapex, 2,000, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it gives you this kind of one place to manage all the articles that you have ever written wherever they are published. You understand? Okay, and you can create as many portfolio as you want. So as you can see, I can create as many as I want. Okay, separating it by the type of content that I want the articles, that I want the portfolio to have. All right. So I believe this gives you a kind of a walkthrough on how content that can help you manage your personalized portfolio. All right. So I'm going to stop here. All right. Thank you very much. Oluwadamilola.
Yeah,
Sorry.
take your time to All right, thank you so much for this presentation. So guys, any question?